Warning, the following presentation is brought to you in part. That's the wrong one. Warning, the following is not for little ears. We say bad words a lot, like a lot, a lot. Um, with that said, welcome. Thanks for being here. Uh, oh, right. We're very wow, Jesus is terrible. We're very opinionated individuals, but at least we understand that our opinions aren't facts. And if you don't agree with us, that's okay. Because, like opinions, everybody has a nose and they smell.
I think that's how that goes.
Something like that.
Well, my name's Jordan. Welcome to Far Side of the Pod. We got Caleb
Eh.
and we got Mikey.
Call me Georgia's offense the way I keep fumbling.
Now, like y'all, if you watch us, you remember from the last episode, Ridge is not going to be around for the remainder of this month and next because he is working at the Haunt, the Scream Chamber. And if y'all ever get the chance and have some free time, y'all should go check it out. But
Shout out.
we got to truck on. We got to support this podcast without him. So, on to the first topic of today. We are going to talk about Marvel's Wolverine. We knew this game was coming out, but we thought for a very long time that the game must have hit a dead end, or we didn't know if it was going to get canceled because of all those leaks that got the multiverse Spider-Man game canceled. And but at the State of Play the other day, they released the first gameplay trailer for the game. Though we had to wait till fall of next year to get it, I think that this game looks absolutely magnificent and it'll be worth the wait. What do you guys think about it? Caleb, you go.
Caleb, you want to go first?
No, you go ahead first.
Okay, well, in that case, nut. Fucking nut. Holy shit, it looks so good.
Yeah,
I can't stress how much that gameplay trailer hyped me up, dude. There were so many moments in it, Jordan. I said this directly to you that it just there were some moments that I saw of gameplay that just reminded me of X-Men Origins Wolverine Unchained, or like the Uncaged edition, right?
yeah.
Oh, it just looks so good. I can't wait to see what the game's about. I can't wait to be Logan. I need it. I need it.
I'm just mad we gotta wait so fucking long for it.
Another thing, real quick, I love Insomniac and the work they do, but this whole thing, a little bit got leaked, shut down the whole project. That's weak.
Yep.
That is so weak.
Especially when it was something like that.
I understand it was going to be a big project and all that, but I'm not saying you should be happy that people are leaking. I understand that's detrimental to the work you're trying to do, and if somebody issues a major leak and it spoils the entire what the story's about, I understand that's bad. But that people leaked what you were working on, they're like, oh my god, this is what it's going to be about. I don't think that what I'm trying to say is I don't think minor leaks should be the reason projects are canceled.
Right.
Period. Major leaks, I think I can better understand, but even then, for an entire project, especially over something like that, to just be flat out canceled, so mad, so mad. Anyway, I love you, Insomniac. I just wish you'd stop stabbing me in the chest.
Alright, Caleb, what do you think about it, man?
So I am one of the biggest Wolverine fans. I love Wolverine. He's always been my favorite X-Men, and when I saw the gameplay trailer, I was like, well, I have been, Xbox loyal for like a long time, but this game I think actually might convince me enough to buy the PlayStation 5. So if that's any kind of, consolation as to how I feel about it, then yeah, I think that this game is going to end up like being a massive hit. It looks amazing. The graphics are insane. I mean, just the fact that this game is going to be, mature rated is awesome because it gets to show the full side of Wolverine you don't get to really see in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. No, I'm double excited for this game. I mean, if you know me, I'm a biggest fan of the Insomniac games, of the Spider-Man games, and so I'm definitely gonna be getting this day one and probably beating it within the first 2 days, type shit. But I'm always excited for more content when it comes to Marvel, and especially in the Insomniac Spider-Man universe. So I'm hoping that this will branch off and possibly give us an X-Men game, because I guarantee you, but by the end of that game, especially that scene where you see him going up against the Sentinel, I think that the rest of the X-Men are going to be there with him. We just didn't see him because they were edited out.
I mean, that sounds really good to me. I really want that. But, I mean, there's not even really much of a but there. It's just like, I hope that's the case because in the gameplay trailer, we see him in the suit. The suit.
Yeah.
And, I hope that's the case. I hope the other X-Men are there. But even if they're not, I mean, I think I'll be okay.
Yeah. All right, we're ready for the next topic.
Yeah.
All right, so this second topic, I want to bring up some Avengers Doomsday, and kind of want to see if y'all had any updated theories or anything, and if y'all wouldn't mind me telling what I think my updated theory for the movie will be.
All right.
Mhm.
Do either of y'all got any theories or anything?
Like I said before we started, truth be told, I've kind of just been waiting, watching, seeing what's going on, so I don't really have any new theories. I'm not much of a theorist when it comes to stuff already, but no, I don't. My only theory is more of a prayer, and that it's please be confirmed.
Mm-hmm. Caleb, you got anything?
No, not really. I'm not like the biggest on creating theories.
All right, so I guess let
Where's
me.
where when the world needed him most, Matt Pat vanished.
All right, so here's my theories. So I'm gonna start with Doom. So I think the reason why Doctor Doom the reason why we have Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom is because I think that Victor Von Doom, the one we got, is from a different universe. But I think that he's got the same face, like Robert Downey Jr.'s face in his universe. And per se, maybe the Victor Von Doom from the MCU has the face of what the Doom, the opposite, you know what I mean, that type of thing. But whenever he goes to, say something happens while he's messing around with his magic, or as he's doing something, he gets lost in our timeline, and say it was around the time just after Tony had died and everything, and he's starting to see that people worship Iron Man and people worship his face, but his face is messed up from his past. So maybe he goes, that's where we get the Fantastic Four after credit scene, where he comes to Franklin to have his face fixed, and that way he can go. That way he can go back to the 6-1, Earth 626, whatever we call it. I can't remember, 616. I think, my bad. Whatever it was, our Earth. He goes back to it.
There's so many Earths, bro. That's not on you.
But he goes back to our Earth, and he starts to go present himself to the Avengers, or people, to get the attention of the Avengers, because he wants to, he's going to sell the story that he's a Tony Stark from a different universe. Because he takes his time to learn about who Tony Stark is. and he manipulates them to pretty much get some people on his side and make it easier for him to go after his people. Because in the Secret Wars comic books, he takes the powers of a few people to become the God Emperor Doom. And I think that in this movie, that Sentry will be the battery of Latveria, or Doom, like, you know, Battle World, Doom, his Doom ship, whatever.
Doomstock. Look,
In the middle of Latveria, there's going to be a battery. Or it's just going to be a prison that Sentry is in, but it's feeding off his energy. That's going to energize Latveria.
Ooh.
And like there's like set pictures, and not set pictures, but like concept art of like some kind of like cell that looks like a bubble or something like that they have somebody shackled up in, and I think that's going to be Sentry, because I think that's kind of what he did in the comic book. The two people that he goes after and kills is the Beyonder and Molecule Man. But the reason why I say Sentry, because one, he is arguably one of the most powerful people in the MCU right now, and in the comic books, Sentry does he gets killed by Molecule Man, but like gets brought back to life and has the powers of Molecule Man. So if he has the powers of Sentry, it's like he can pretty much adapt to anything. And also, I think that Wanda is going to play a part in this, because I think they brought, like, especially after rewatching Multiverse of Madness not too long ago, they brought up how they made a point to say that in every universe that there's a Doctor Strange, and in every universe there's a Darkhold. The Darkhold in our Earth was destroyed in the Multiverse of Madness. I think Doom's going to find an Earth where there's a Scarlet Witch who controls the Darkhold, and take her in as like his right hand woman, or also like his queen to Latveria Battle World type thing. But then I'm almost guaranteed, because in that there was that showcase or whatever in China or whatever that said that in this drone show type of thing, it's pretty much revealed that Doom's going to have the 10 rings, and he's also going to have Miss Marvel's bangles. So one, it's either going to be bangles off a different Miss Marvel from a different universe, and 10 rings from a different Shang-Chi, or Shang-Chi and Miss Marvel may bite the bullet. And because we know, that's one thing we do know, is that there are going to be a lot of deaths in these next two Avengers movies.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of deaths in those Avengers movies.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, as far as, on the offhand, that anybody, out there like me, right? I guess I'm saying this for people like me, who are like, whoa, that's like a lot of stuff that Doom's probably gonna have or will have, right? And it's like, what hope do our heroes have? What's the point of fighting? And I just want to say real quick, Doom stockpiling shit like that is so on brand for Victor Von Doom. Y'all don't even understand. Like, I suck at putting this into words right now. It's so on brand for Victor Von Doom to do shit like that, because that's the kind of villain he is. He's not stockpiling it out of greed. He's stockpiling it in, I have it. You don't. I'm going to use it. You can't stop me. Doom is built different, what I'm saying. So
what I think is going to happen is he's going to have his own super team. I think he's going to have his own like evil Avengers, because there's rumors of like Chris Evans being a part of it, but not as Captain America, but possibly Captain Hydra. and like different things like that. And we also, we already know we have evil versions of Doctor Strange, and they've already confirmed that we know the cast, like the people who were announced with the chairs, but they've already confirmed that there will be people that we currently know in it that they won't announce till the movie comes out. Then there's going to be legacy people coming back that won't be announced. You'll just see them when they come up in the movie. And they've also said that there will be new people. Well, there will be new people showing up in the movie that we won't see until we watch the movie. So there's going to be a bunch of crazy shit that happens in this. And I think he'll have his own... Well, my guarantee thing that's going to happen, first of all, is the Avengers are going to lose in the first movie, in Doomsday.
Probably. Yeah, that's probably what they've got planned.
And the thing is there's going to be 5 different teams in this movie, bro. Doom's going to have his own team. Then the Avengers are going to have their own team. Then the new Avengers, the Thunderbolts, are going to have their own team. Then the Guardians... No, not the Guardians. Loki. Loki's going to have his own team. And it's just like there's going to be a whole bunch of crazy shit. I mean, you got to think about what's possibly going to happen in Spider-Man, right? Because Spider-Man's the only movie coming out before Doomsday right now. And, the closer and closer we get, the more and more rumors I'm hearing of what I think is going to happen in it, whether it's going to be either the Demons or the Spider Slayer. But the one thing I do know is I think either by the end of Brand New Day or at some point in Doomsday, Peter Parker is going to die, but the symbiote is going to attach itself to him and bring him back to life like it did in the game. And that's how we're going to get the Black Suit Spider-Man, because he has to be in Secret Wars. And he's the cover of the famous comic book. And I think he's going to be a bad guy working for Doom at first, because he's going to get brought in about that whole Tony Stark thing, then go in too deep, and after he done revealed that he's not Tony Stark, that he's Von Doom, he's going to be like, well, I'm too far gone at this point, might as well stick around. But it'll eventually change, of course.
Yeah.
I think so. I think he's going to go after Loki. I think he's going to go after Loki specifically for causing an incursion. Not really an incursion, but what he did in grabbing all the timelines and making the tree, right? I think he's going to go after Loki because he caused some shit. And we know that Doctor Strange is off with Charlize Theron's character. I can't remember what her name was. Cleo. That's what it was. He's going to be with Cleo somewhere, because at the end of Multiverse of Madness, the after credit scene, she's like, let's go fix this incursion or something like that. So, and that's pretty much what creates Battleworld. So I think we're going to successfully see Battleworld be created. And Secret Wars is going to be the last shebang to save the world. But I don't think it's going to end the way we think it's going to end. I think it's going to end by them completely resetting the timeline. I think...
So they can do it like a hard reboot, almost?
Yeah. Like, the thing that I am thinking apart of, like, I just rewatched Justice League Dark Apocalypse War like a week ago, and in that movie, at the end of it, they everything was so fucked up in the past, and they lost a bunch of people, and they just had Barry use the Speed Force again to reset the timeline again. Everybody, restart. And I think, you know, how they said that they're going to be different Captain America. They're going to be a different Iron Man. There's going to be a different, you know, this person, that person, you know. I think that there's a possibility that something's going to happen where they're going to reset the timeline. Because that, I feel like that's the only way they're going to be able to save the world and bring it back after what happens with Battle World.
I mean, it's a very Marvel thing to do, and I don't even mean the cinematic universe. I can't tell you how many times a villain of any shape or size has gotten too much gas behind them, and then somebody somewhere had to make the call to be like, I think the only thing we can do is just hit the big red button, guys.
Because because to me, first of all, I don't understand how. Well, I do understand how they did it, but you know, we had the Fantastic Four beat Galactus in the Fantastic Four already. And it's not like they killed him; they knocked him into another, well, on the edges of the universe, so it'd take him years to get back to however, you know. But I think we're about to get the God Emperor Doom.
That's
And
what I'm hoping.
well, that's what they're going towards. And if we're going to get God Emperor Doom, he's the strongest. He's arguably the strongest person in Marvel history. And I think that this will be.
He is, I believe,
And I
one
think.
of, if not the strongest iteration of Doom.
Right. But think about it. They started with Robert Downey Jr., and they're going to end this phase and this part of Marvel and end it with Robert Downey Jr. Then the next because the next saga, because after Secret Wars, it's the new saga, it's a new story that they are predominantly going to be focusing on the X-Men. Now,
Yes.
the only thing that keeps me from saying it's not a full reboot, like a full red button, then not everybody's going to be there for it. Like, I think, you know, Fantastic Four is going to go back to their timeline unless Doom destroys their world. But like, I think there's going to be different things that happen that some people get to stay back or stay the same or keep their memories, however, some weird way. I don't know exactly the logistics, but I think it makes sense, you know, to bring in new people for new characters, new people for old characters, and I think it'll be a good refresh for Marvel, you know, because you know some people are getting to the point of like, man, when's Marvel going to stop? And it's like, why give them a reason to think that and, you know, start fresh, but with a different side of the stories instead of it being Captain America and Iron Man and all them. Why not predominantly have it be the X-Men? And, you know, we gotta keep Spider-Man around, but bring in those other teams, you know?
Yeah. Give him a
Yeah.
chance to, you know, do something a little special with him.
And, you know, start bringing in, you know, let's get Blade on the roll. Let's start bringing in, like, Ghost Rider. Do some more Moon Knight. Let's get a Midnight Suns movie. This is another thing I just thought about. Apparently, Sam Raimi is in talk of directing another Marvel movie, and it's not Doctor Strange 3. I think he could possibly be in line to do Midnight Suns.
That'd be so rad.
Could you imagine Midnight Suns being a slight, like a subtle horror movie, but also keeping that superhero vibe, like how Multiverse of Madness had horror in it, but kept the action. But since this will be, you know, more of the darker characters like Blade and Moon Knight and Ghost Rider, make it more scary. I think it'd be awesome. Add some, you know, some fucking Evil Dead vibes to it. Alright, so we all good on the Marvel talk? Alright, man, let's go on to the Next subject. Caleb, you're gonna get kind of weirded out by this, but I want to just bring up some Matthew Lillard news. Caleb brought to my attention earlier that apparently Matthew Lillard is in discussion or in talks to be doing a new Scooby-Doo project. We don't really know exactly what he's doing yet, whether it's a movie or an animated movie. Because, you know, the last thing I think he did as Shaggy was the Courage the Cowardly Dog movie. But whatever he does, it's cool. You know, I love when he gets to come back and work as Shaggy. So I'm excited to see what they do with that. What do you guys think about it?
My goat. My goat, dog. My MVP.
What up?
I know I've said that. I'm pretty sure I've said this in the past, but to anyone who may be listening that may have not heard me talk about this in the past, Matthew Lillard is unironically such a cool fucking cat, y'all.
Yeah, he is.
Dude, that dude is actually cool as the day is long. There is no meme. He's actually like a really awesome dude.
Yeah, I agree. He's.
I almost want to retell the story, but long story short, when Jordan and I met Matthew Lillard, they called the code Adam. If you don't know what that is, that's a slang for missing child. And Matthew stops his line because he asks one of his handlers what's going on, and once he gets a brief explanation, he pauses the line. He puts a pause on it. He literally raises up his hands and says, "Hold on, everyone, I'll be back." And where I was in the line, I could only assume I knew what he was doing. Sure enough, a little time passed. Like Matt walks away, a little time passes, and they call off the code Adam, and he returns. I'm not saying Matthew Lillard found a missing child. I'm saying he stopped his autograph line, something a few other celebrities in the place at the time didn't immediately do, in order to help find a kid in case they were missing. And as soon as it was called off, he returned.
Yeah, it was cool.
He's a super cool cat.
He didn't even mention that when he came back, there was a kid who couldn't get a ticket to get into the line to meet him, but he was still standing like kind of outside his booth just to see him, sign autographs and take pictures with other people. And this kid, like, it had sound deprivation headphones and had like one arm missing, and you can clearly tell he had something wrong with him. And Matthew just told him to come over there, and they brought him to him, and Matthew took a picture with him and signed a picture of himself and gave it to him for free, and
didn't even make a big deal about it. He just acted like it was the most natural thing in the world.
Yeah, and especially in mine and Mikey's point of view, we got to meet somebody who pioneered our childhood, and he got to tell us that we were awesome, that we were cool. We were talking about how cool it was to meet him, but then he would say it was that we were cool, and like make us feel comfortable with him and everything. And he's a nice guy, and I'm excited, which makes me excited to also say, which I think we previously announced before, but Matthew Lillard will be debuting, I guess per se, in Ice Nine Kills like Horrorwood verse that they do with their music videos. They are also doing a collaboration with Matthew Lillard's whiskey brand or company, and they're coming out with a Horrorwood Reserve. And I think I'm going to have to keep an eye out and try to get me a bottle of that. But
I bet it's good.
But it'll be cool to see Matthew Lillard in something else that I love and that I'm passionate about. I'm glad that he's working with Ice Nine Kills. But I think this pretty much guarantees that the next song will be a Five Nights at Freddy's song. Because with the new Five Nights at Freddy movies also coming out, I think it could possibly announce that Ink will be debuted on the soundtrack. Because we already know, if you think about the ties with Universal and Five Nights at Freddy the movies, with they have a HHN house this year. but also they've been playing Ice Nine Kills throughout the park all the time because of Art the Clown. So I think that there's a possibility that Universal got with Ice Nine Kills for Ice Nine Kills to do a song for Five Nights at Freddy's, and I think that it will feature Matthew Lillard as Springtrap or William Afton, however which way. But I think we'll see him in the Springtrap suit. The only reason I say that because the only thing it makes sense for him to do is either a 13 Ghost song or a Five Nights at Freddy's songs, but I don't think enough people want to hear a 13 Ghost song over a Five Nights at Freddy's song. And Matthew Lillard himself said, well, you know how they just added Springtrap to Dead by Daylight like a month or so ago, and they used his face for Springtrap, but they didn't use his voice. And he said the reason why he didn't use his voice because he said if he was going to be playing Springtrap, that he was going to be playing Springtrap. Saying like he didn't want to just do his voice, he wanted to be him. He wanted to be in the suit. He wanted to work it. So I think if it's going to be anything related to it, it will be Springtrap because he said it himself. If he's going to be doing it, he's going to be in it, you know?
He's such a goat, bro.
So I think that will be awesome. I think it'll be... I've heard a snippet of it because they posted... I think it was a snippet of the song because they posted like a teaser for like the Horrorwood Reserve and they were playing a song in the background of it. And if that's it, it's going to be heavy as shit. But yeah, that's all
I don't think Matt would want it any other way.
So that's all I really got on Matthew Lillard. Anybody got anything else to say on that whole situation?
No,
I
think
I don't have anything else to. Sorry, I was just going to say I don't have anything else to say because I already said my piece. I just kind of gushed over Matt a little bit more than I necessarily needed to.
It's hard not to. So I get it. So this next part of the podcast, I think it'd be fun. You know, instead of doing like a horror movie franchise bracket or like a tier list of the rank them, which we've done plenty of times, I figured that we could do a horror movie bracket specifically to movies, not the franchises. And we can rank. I've got a whole soiree of these movies. Now, remember, I know some of these y'all probably have not seen. Remember, I didn't pick these. These were already on here when I got in here. So there's going to be a couple gimmies. There's going to be a couple easy votes. But we're going to get some really good competition in this. And I think we can clearly and safely say that whichever movie ends at the end, like is still there at the end of this, is arguably the best horror movie of all time. I would think so. So y'all ready to get going?
Yeah.
Alright, let's get to it. I'm gonna start with the easy gimme. I'm start and get those out of the way. That way it's just be a little bit easier. So first of all, we got Nosferatu, the original Nosferatu, versus Suspiria, the original Suspiria. I've heard Suspiria is good. I've not really seen it. I've not seen the original Nosferatu, but I have a feeling I have to go just Nosferatu because of the SpongeBob meme. What do you guys think?
Well, I was gonna say I've not seen either, but I'm gonna say Nosferatu, the original, pioneered a lot because I mean, for folks, that stuff was scary back in the day. Like that was, to them, that was scary. And I'm gonna sound like a lame because anybody in our audience knows I'm not the horror movie guy, but I've not seen Suspiria. I don't know anything about it. So, it might chalk up to Mikey's bias, but I'm just going to say Nosferatu.
Did Nosferatu?
Yeah, it's Nosferatu.
Yeah, I figured there'd be a clean sweep on that one. Ah, heck. Okay. So, one movie is on here twice. I don't know why it is, but we're gonna go get through them two. Then we should be good for the rest of it. All right. So we got these will be easy ones though. So we got The Shining versus Hereditary. It's the easy The Shining. I've never heard of it myself. That's why I say it's easy.
See, no, real quick, dog. I thought you were memeing on me. You said here dietary, and my ass was like, hereditary.
Wait, is that what
I
that
thought
is?
you were,
Oh my god, it is what that is what that is. I am so fucking stupid.
dude. I thought, bruh,
Dude,
yo, I
so
can feel your shame from here, dog.
well, it's the picture. The picture on the thing is like the way it's got the HERE at the top, then it's got the DITARY under it, but it's like the HERE is the ERE is lowercase and the H is uppercase, then the D is uppercase and the ITARY are all lowercase. And it's like weirdly placed, so it's not my fault that I read that wrong.
I was just like, I was so fucking befuddled there for a second, brother. I was
But
like,
Befuddled.
here, diet. Oh yeah, dog. I was bamboozled. I was mentally shanghaied. Like, what do you want from me? I was sitting here like, here, dietary. Is that German? Does he mean hair? And then I was like, hereditary?
yeah, it makes sense. I was about to say here dietary, but it doesn't make sense myself.
Dietary.
But I'd still put The Shining over Hereditary just because the iconicness of the movie. Though I do love Hereditary, but you'll also see why I kept it on the. I chose The Shining here in a minute. All right.
I picked The Shining, by the way. Just throw that out there. I picked The Shining.
It's kind of hard not to pick The Shining.
All right. All right. Here's a good one then. We got Alien, the first
Okay.
Alien, versus Hereditary.
Alien.
Y'all are both going Alien.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I was gonna say Hereditary,
That's personal bias on my part, though. I'll own that shit.
but
Yeah.
I get it though. I don't think the first Alien's the best one. That's why I was gonna say Hereditary. But it's all good. Let's get going. All right. Now we on some good ones. The rest of them are good ones. We're done past the here dietary shit. All right.
All right.
All right. So
Her dietary.
this next one is we got Night of the Living Dead, the original movie, versus Jennifer's Body. What do y'all got?
Not of the Living Dead.
Dang. Can't believe I'm being put up against Night of the Living Dead and
I'd go Jennifer's
Jennifer
Body.
Fox.
I think Jennifer.
I mean, I figured that was what you would
I was
do.
about
Yeah.
to-
Jennifer's
I
Body.
was about to
is
say,
just classic, bro. I get
it is
Not of the Living
I get Night
Dead.
of the Living Dead is the original zombie movie, but I feel like 28 Days Later is a better movie than it is. So I'd say Jennifer's Body. And that's up to you, Mikey.
I'm gonna say Jennifer's Body on this one.
Hey, Jennifer's Body for the win. All right.
Probably not for the same reason as Jordan's though, but that was probably my first glimpse of horror. Not that I like watched it at that age, but I was like, "What is that about? Why is it so horny?" I
just like the movie. I think
I
it's a
was-
good movie.
Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't get around to watching it until I was like in my late teens, and I was like, "Oh, that's why this movie's so horny.
Yeah.
It's part of the plot." I got it.
All right, so this is a really good one. We're getting some heaters now. All right, so we got The Ring versus The Exorcist.
Ooh, shit.
Caleb, what are you picking, big dog?
Ring.
You said The Ring.
Go because The Exorcist wasn't really one of my favorite movies. You know, it was good. You know, it was for its time. It was, but for me, it's got The Ring. The Ring is too. I mean, the scariest movie I've ever watched, The Grudge. So, The Ring, it's hitting that pretty close.
Okay. I would have to say The Exorcist, though. I don't think it's the scariest of movies, though. You know, some people do, and rightfully so. Um, I do like The Ring, and I do think The Ring could be scarier in points. I just think, you know, the Exorcist is iconic with the movie theater scene because of people running out and throwing up, and the movie was literally causing fucking miscarriages. So,
Yeah.
like, I think it deserves to be in a conversation as one of the best horror movies of all time. So, I have to go The Exorcist.
So, for me, in terms of what movie would probably scare me more, I'm going to tell you probably The Ring. But that's not. But I'm also with Jordan in terms of like what The Exorcist meant for the film industry,
Yeah.
among other things. It's really big and kind of hard to ignore. So, with that said, I'm casting my vote for the Exorcist. Just again because I mean everyone here knows I'm not the horror movie guy, but that doesn't mean I can't look away from the cultural fucking impact that it had.
Right.
So that's why my vote's going for The Exorcist.
All right, now we got one that y'all may have not seen both movies, but I feel like it's somewhat of an easy one for me at least. So we got The Babadook versus Poltergeist. I'm definitely going to say The Poltergeist. I still think it's crazy that they used actual human corpses for that fucking scene where they were in the water and shit. I think that's bonkers. You know, the movie said to be cursed. So, yeah, I think it deserves to be on this list. Mikey, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna have to say Poltergeist on that one, just because like it's the really supernatural shit that gives me the heebiest of the fucking jeebies. I can't stand it. Like for some reason, when it's a slasher film, and I can rationalize it as that's a dude when you cut away a lot of the fat,
Yeah.
it's not as horrifying. But when it's I can't put a face to that, that's not a person, that is an entity, there's nothing I can do about it. I hate it. I hate it.
All right, Caleb, what do you think, big dog?
Yeah, so the Babadook's not shitting on the Babadook any at all, but
No.
Poltergeist is just like, you know, it was one of my the first movie obviously for me was the best.
Yeah, for sure.
The second one was good. Third one was like it was all right, you know, but that first Poltergeist movie, I mean, it made you think. It made a lot of people think about, you know,
The afterlife.
researching where they lived, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that you know it had a big cultural impact, quite a lot like how how Exorcist did. So I'd have to go with that one.
Hell yeah. All right, so this one might be an easier one because I feel like y'all haven't seen one of these movies. Um, we've got Gothica versus The Omen. I know this is where I'm definitely gonna be on the outs because I'm pretty sure that y'all both haven't seen Gothica, but I would say Gothica. I just like the story better. Not the biggest fan of the Omen story. I mean, I know it's iconic, but I remember Gothica. I remember being in a movie theater for like 3 years old watching Gothica with my mom and dad in a movie theater. So I'm going Gothica. Caleb?
I actually have not watched either The Omen or Gothica, so I don't think I could really fairly score them against each other or rank them.
Just pick one. We got to pick one, so.
I'll say The Omen just because I've seen like stuff about it and it looked good.
All right. Mikey?
I think I know what Omen is about, but I've not seen Gothica. I'm kind of with Caleb here. It's a little hard for me to do this fairly, but even with that said, I'm going to cast a vote for Omen anyway,
Yeah.
just because I know that one compared to.
Yeah. Like I said, Gothica's not the biggest. It's more of a cult classic, so I didn't expect y'all to really pick it. So, all right, let's get this one out of the way. We got Hellraiser versus Signs. Now remember, we're doing specifically movies, just that one specific movie, not the franchise. So, Hellraiser versus Signs. Caleb, what do you think?
You said it was Hellraiser, and what was the other one?
Signs.
Oh, Hellraiser, 100%.
All right. Mikey?
Yeah, I'm kind of with. I'm with Caleb on this. Signs. It's kind of hard to.
Please save your tears.
Well, I say Signs. Signs isn't it, so for me, I'm picking. Sorry, I
got you. I got you.
Right. My god dang brain was like, "What are you even talking about?" No,
We have such sights to show you. Yes, Hellraiser has to get the W. It's that the only good Hellraiser movies are Hellraiser 1, Hellraiser 2, and the remake. So any other ones are pretty ass. But
shout out to my dog with the teeth.
Oh, the Chatter.
Yeah.
Hey man, I can't wait for that new video game to come out. I can't wait to play it. All right, so this is a good one. We got The Conjuring versus Pet Sematary.
Which Pet Sematary?
The first
yeah.
one.
The first one?
Yeah. I have to go The Conjuring. I think the Conjuring movies are some of the best horror movies of this generation. I think, they perfectly fit in with all the classics in my personal opinion. Pet Sematary is all cool and all. I think The Conjuring's too big not to say The Conjuring, so.
He's got a point there.
Yeah. Caleb, what you got?
So, I'm going to have to say I do love the Conjuring series, but the story alone for Pet Sematary for me is what does it for me. So I'm going to have to go with Pet Sematary on that one.
All right. Mikey?
Yeah, I'm going to have to say it's The Conjuring for me. I'm with you on that one, Jordan.
Hey, man, that's a good one. Had to. All right. So this is hold up. Messed up. Yep, that. All right. Okay. So this next one, like I said, we're getting into the really good matchups now. So we got Carrie versus Friday the 13th. Now remember, I'm talking about specifically the first Friday the 13th movie.
Right.
So, Caleb, what would you pick?
I mean, Friday the 13th was so iconic, but Carrie, oh my God, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go with Friday the 13th just on the fact of how influential it was on slashers.
Okay. Mikey, what do you got?
So, well, sorry, Miss Voorhees, I'm going to prom with the devil. I picked Carrie personally, and that's on personal preference. Caleb is absolutely right for the influence that the first Friday the 13th had. Caleb's absolutely right on that. But like I said, this is personal preference for me. So with that said, I don't know. That's it. It's personal preference. I don't really have much else to add.
I think I have to go Carrie as well. I love Friday the 13th. That's one of my favorite horror franchises of all time, but that's the thing, franchise, not movie. I'm not the biggest fan of the original Friday the 13th movie. I'm not the biggest fan of Pamela Voorhees. I thought that her whole ideology was fucking stupid. I mean, your son died some years ago, so I'm going to come back on his birthday and just kill all the people that's there fucking at that time. Just for him. Like, I just thought it was... That kind of put me off. But I love the story behind Carrie. I love the original and the remake. So, yeah, I have to go with Carrie. Alright. We got some good matchups. Especially this next round, bro. This next round's going to be crazy. Alright. We got a banger. I Know What You Did Last Summer versus Scream. To me, that's I love I Know What You Did Last Summer. I love it. But nothing's beating Scream, man. I mean, when it comes, especially this round, I Know What You Did Last Summer is not as good as Scream. We all know that. I feel like everybody in the world knows that. So, yeah, I got to go with I Know What You Did Last Summer. No, not I Know What You Did with Scream. Shit. Caleb, what you got?
I was about to say, Jordan, are you okay?
Yeah, I was about to. I was sitting here staring directly at the door, I don't know who's in that other room, but it's not my brother.
A mimic. It's a mimic. Yeah, Scream. There's no doubt in my mind. I Know What You Did Last Summer is great, but the Scream, this is the first movie, and there's some, like Jordan was saying earlier, some of those first movies, the first Friday the 13th, there's elements to it that aren't exactly, great at all, but the very first Scream movie is perfection. It was beautifully done. No doubt about it, in my mind, Scream is the one to pick.
All right, Mikey?
Definitely Scream. I don't even have it. I'm not even going to justify my claims, nor myself. Deal with it.
Deal with that sheet.
All right. So this.
I'll be back.
So this next one is a good one. It's a banger, and I feel like we're going to be split on this one. We got The Grudge versus The Blair Witch Project.
Wait, what versus The Blair Witch Project?
The Grudge.
Oh.
The Grudge versus The Blair Witch Project.
Great.
Mikey, you go first on this one, big dog.
And it was The Grudge versus...
The Blair Witch Project.
Oh God, Blair Witch Project. Holy fucking shit. Do I need to justify myself further? I'm picking the Blair Witch Project personally.
Caleb? Caleb?
Oh, sorry. I think I lost y'all for a second there. You already know what I'm picking. It's The Grudge. Literally one of the most horrifying movies ever, and it's on a true story. Is no thanks, bro. No. I watched that movie one time my entire life, and I vowed to myself and have maintained I will never watch that movie again. It was that scary to me. creeped me out. I mean, it literally freaked me out so bad.
Okay. Well, I gotta go. The Blair Witch Project. I
Of course you
mean,
do.
I mean, that movie already one means so much to me and my wife. You know, it brought us together, and we watched it together for the first time. Oh, that was my first time watching it, but you know, it was big for us. I mean, I think the movie is just so iconic. It's the movie that created the found footage genre. It's perfection. I mean, even if there was a found footage that came out before, did it get talked about like the Blair Witch Project? No. But I think it's one of the best horror movies of all time. I think it's one of the scariest horror movies of all time. I think the people who say it's boring and dull have a smushy brain. They don't understand art. And, you know, I thought it was real for a long time. I really thought it was real for a long time. So that's why I have to go with it. It just, to me, it's one of those iconic movies that I just cannot pass it up. Alright. Let's get these next four on this first round are bang, bang, bangers. So we got The Sixth Sense versus Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh.
I'm going Silence of the Lambs. I don't think there's much of an argument for me. But yeah, I'm going Silence of the Lambs. Mikey, go ahead and you pick.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you, dog. I'm going to pick Silence of the Lambs. I don't really have too much of an argument to it, other than, well,
It puts the
I guess the only thing I can really, I guess the only thing I can really say is, you know, I wish there was more in my brain to pick at about it.
It puts the lotion on its skin unless it gets the hose again.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, Caleb, what do you pick?
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs. It's definitely one of the, you know, more skin crawling ones.
Yeah, it really is. All right. Now these next three, I've been saving these next three for this. This is huge ones right here, boys. So we got Child's Play versus It. The original Tim Curry It.
Mm.
I am going to go off the whim and say Child's Play. The only reason why is I mean, I like the original It. I think it's iconic, but I still don't think it holds a candle to the new ones. I think the new ones are so much better. Like I said, no disrespect. I just, you know, the original It movie is a TV movie versus the ones we got in the theaters that are a lot more scary. So, and Child's Play, I think, you know, Chucky is one of the most iconic horror characters of all time. And I think the first Child's Play is one of the most iconic horror movies of all time. So, that's my other reason. So, yeah. Caleb?
You know, I like Child's Play. It's you know, I ain't got no beef against it or anything, but it's a tough one to pick between those two for me, and that's just because I like them both almost equally. But if I had to go for if I had to go for what ended up being more iconic in the sense later on, it would have to be Child's Play being the better movie at the time.
Okay.
Even though I really like Tim Curry, you know, and I thought that I don't think that his, you know, him playing Pennywise for that time was bad. I just think that it was just, it wasn't handled, you know, it was just different back then.
And so you say you're picking Child's Play?
Yeah.
Okay. Mikey?
I'm also going to be picking Child's Play.
All right.
Just, I mean, on the merit that that little fucker actually gave me nightmares and I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Had me second guessing my fucking Power Ranger toys and shit.
All right. So, These are gonna be the last two that really need describing. The rest of them will be able to go like second round and on. We'll be able to go just fly through them. But these next two are the last two that you can state. Then we're gonna fly through the rest. You got that?
Yeah.
All right. So this next one, these are the biggest ones too. We got Nightmare on Elm Street versus Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm going to have to go Nightmare on Elm Street. I like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of the only movies I like in its franchise. It's iconic, it's brutal, it's insane, but Nightmare on Elm Street, man. That original movie is iconic. We got the introduction to Johnny Depp. The ending was phenomenal. The scenes are just wonderfully crafted. I'm going with Nightmare on Elm Street. Caleb?
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. No question in my mind. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mikey?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Banger. All right, this one's rough. This one's rough. We got The Evil Dead
Oh.
versus Halloween. I'm gonna come off and say mine because this is my argument. I'm going to say Halloween because one, I think Evil Dead 1, the original Evil Dead, don't matter. I think when I tell people to watch the Evil Dead movies, you start at Evil Dead 2, you watch Army of Darkness, and you go forth, right? The only reason I say that
Isn't it because one of those movies retcons basically the first movie?
The beginning of the second movie pretty much retcons the whole first movie and pretty much retells it really quickly. So that's the main reason, and plus it's Halloween. Halloween's one of the best horror movies of all time. So yeah, I'm going Halloween. Mikey?
I'm gonna have to pick Halloween too because I was gonna say pretty much the same thing about the first Evil Dead. It's basically being retconned.
Yeah. All right, Caleb.
But yeah, no.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm agreeing. With the only reason I'm really going with Halloween this one, really and honestly, is just because it just feels like it was the better option between the two to watch it during the time.
Yep.
It just seems scarier.
All right, so these rest of these we're going to be able to fly through and pick out what these answers are. We've already described our arguments for all these movies. So let's go through and get these done. All right, y'all ready?
Yep.
All right, so we got The Exorcist versus Carrie. Caleb, what are you picking?
The Exorcist.
All right, Mikey, what are you picking?
Exorcist versus Carrie. I'm gonna pick Carrie personally.
All right, I'm sorry, but I have to go with The Exorcist.
Understandable. I was just picking on bias,
of course,
personal preference.
All right, so now we got The Blair Witch Project versus Jennifer's Body. I'm going The Blair Witch Project. Caleb?
Yeah, Blair Witch. Yeah,
Blair Witch.
All right, awesome. All right, now we got
fucking lightning rounds.
All right, we got Child's Play versus A Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm glad to go with Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I ironically enough, had more nightmares about one than the other.
All right, so we got The Conjuring versus Silence of the Lambs. I'm going to have to go The Conjuring.
Conjuring, yeah.
Mikey?
Yeah, Conjuring.
All right. We got Scream versus Nosferatu. That's easy, Scream.
Yeah, Scream.
That's a no-brainer.
No diff.
All right. Poltergeist versus The Shining. I'm going to have to go The Shining.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick The Shining.
So we all say Shining.
I want to say The Shining. That's a hard one for me to say. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, The Shining won anyway, so All right, so now we got The Omen versus Hellraiser. I feel like that's a pretty easy one. I say Hellraiser.
Hellraiser. Absolutely.
Hell. All right. So now we got Alien versus Halloween. That's Halloween. It's a no diff. Caleb?
But what? Sorry, what'd you say? I couldn't hear you.
Alien versus
It's
Halloween.
Alien.
Alien versus Alien.
Mikey?
Halloween, no diff. Sorry.
No diff. All right.
Yeah, that's not even.
We got,
That's not even a genuine apology.
all right, here, we're in the Elite Eight, boys. All right, so we got The Exorcist versus A Nightmare on Elm Street. Mikey, what are you picking?
I'm gonna pick The Exorcist.
All right. Caleb, what are you picking?
The Exorcist.
Yeah, I gotta go The Exorcist. I love Nightmare on Elm
And that was a
Street.
tough one.
It's
Yeah.
a tough one. It's a tough one. All
That was
right,
a really
this
tough
is
one.
another good one. The Blair Witch Project versus The Conjuring. I have to
Conjuring.
I have to go The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
I just love the Ed Lorraine story, man. I just love it. All right, so now we got The Shining versus Hellraiser. I think I would say specifically Hellraiser, but that's just me.
Yeah. Hellraiser. That's one of my favorite scary movies.
Yeah, I would have picked Hellraiser between them.
Oh, the hardest one of the whole video. Scream versus Halloween.
Scream.
Yeah, I gotta go Scream. There's no diff.
Mhm.
Scream.
I say it's the hardest, but it's no diff for me. It's I can't not say not Scream.
It's the hardest because you loved them both.
All right, we're down to the final four, folks. We got The Conjuring versus Hellraiser. I'm going The Conjuring.
I'm going to Hellraiser just because that's my favorite. That's literally one of my favorite scary movies.
Mikey, it's up to you, big dog.
Oh my god.
The pressure.
How am I supposed to pick? Oh man. Okay, I'm going with which one scares me more. The Conjuring.
Hell yeah. All right.
The only reason is because of the fucking realism.
Yeah, well, it's a true story, so.
That's the point.
All right, so we got The Exorcist versus Scream. I'm going Scream. Like I said.
Scream. Better written.
Mikey, what do you got?
Scream.
Yeah, that's what I figured. All right, boys. We got the last one. Scream versus The Conjuring. I'm still going Scream.
Yeah. Same. I feel the same still.
Mikey on the same boat?
Yeah.
All right, Scream is the greatest horror movie of all time. Haha, I told you some bitches. I've been saying that for years.
Boy, you can't tell we're biased at all, can you? No, never. Never.
What is bias? What are y'all talking about?
It really is. Yeah, Scream really is the best in the world.
All right, so one last thing before we get off the podcast tonight, guys. Since it's spooky season, and one thing that we tried to do last year that we didn't do much of, but we're going to this year is we're going to tell some scary stories. But we thought it'd be better to use Reddit to look up some scary stories and get some real stories from people and see what you guys think about it. Are y'all ready? I got one loaded up for us. It's a nice one.
Oh, yeah. You got one?
Yeah, it's not too long. It's about 4 or 5 paragraphs, but
That's not bad.
it's a good size one for our first one. All right, y'all ready?
All right. What do you call it? What are we calling this? What is it? What are we
All
calling
right,
this?
This is called My Skinwalker Story in Oregon.
Ooh. Who and credited to who?
This is this is credited to the Nightmare, the I and night being a 1 and there being
Okay.
a 0 and a 3 in their name. I don't know where they put that, but hell yeah. All right, so I'm gonna start this off. So I live in a small town in Oregon, but I usually do my regular thing, like go to school, play basketball, skateboard, the usual things as kids would do when they get bored. But today was different. I was getting on my bus on a Friday night, so I was going to stay out pretty late with my friends, go skate, and go to the store and probably get kicked out before I went to the Minute Market. I go to the Minute Market almost every day. I know every worker by name, but today there was this new worker. He was a tall, lanky guy with a really curly, long beard, and almost nearly reached his waist, with a weird scar on his right arm that I couldn't point to any animal I've seen or encountered myself. So I went to the back of the store, grabbed my drink and snacks, ringed them up, at about $5 exactly. The guy didn't say much besides, "Is that all?" and "Have a good day." But right before I grabbed my board and I was about to leave, I heard him mutter something to himself. And I asked, "What?" He just kept muttering to himself, so I assumed he was high or drunk, because my town is known for addicts, but isn't as bad as Portland or Salem. So I left and I thought it was a little bit weird, but not much of it, because I'm used to it at this point, living in a town almost my entire life, but besides Portland and Bend for 2 years. But I looked beside me, I looked behind me, because I heard the door of the Minute Market open, although no one else was in the market. I saw the same guy working, but his scar was gone, and he was staring at me. No one was around us, which was weird for the area, because the other stores in the driveway, and I jogged. I jogged away, trying to play it off, still thinking he was a druggie, and I kept jogging, but he just kept slowly falling every time. Every time I got faster, every time I looked away, it was like he got closer every time. I looked away, and I finally made it home, but my mom gets home around 6, while my dad gets home around 9:30, and I got home around 4:30. So I did my usual with a little more caution. So I unlocked my door, closed it, locked all 3 of my locks, and sat down with my backpack to do my chores until I got a knock at the door. I went to my sister's room, which has a good view of the door, but people can't see the window. And when I audibly gasped, when I looked, I audibly gasped. It was the same man from the Minute Market, with the scar back, but on both arms. So I rushed to lock the window, and I did, while grabbing every weapon I could find, while slowly setting a chair under the doorknob. The more I did these things, the more aggressive these knocks got. Knocks were everywhere. I didn't call 911. I should have, but I called my grandma. I came from a Native American family, and she was a very religious woman, and she had her own experiences with this. What she told me almost made me hang up. And she said, "It knows your scent, your voice, height, weight, and where you live. The only way you can get through this is to burn sage and ashes around the house, or the walls inside, or on the walls inside the house." So I did the second option, because I couldn't get outside for obvious reasons. What happened almost next made me pass out. What happened next almost made me pass out. It started to cut itself, using my voice, saying the exact order I placed for my snacks. Can I get peanut butter M&Ms in this energy drink, please? I know it sounds funny, but trust me, when I say this, it didn't sound like it was ordering or anything. It sounded like a deaf person screaming, barely knowing what they were saying. I burned the sage as quick as I could in ash and surrounded my walls with it. After about 10 minutes, the thing left and hasn't come back yet. But it's only been 1 day. I will keep you updated on what happens next. Update. I've seen the guy around, but he's different. No scar, no nothing. Totally average guy. But and he shaved his beard, but there has been random deer heads in my backyard and deer staring at me through my window. It's terrifying because this morning I woke up to the sound of something in my room falling and hearing 3 noises under my bed even today. I had one of my skateboards fall off my skate rack, which is hooked to the wall and confusing. I suspect something is going to happen soon, and I will put a new update soon. Update number 2. Nothing too weird has happened besides a deer in my local park that kind of followed me. I have no idea really, but I think it has stopped. I'm not sure. And that's where it ends.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty
Like bro needs to immediately go get exercised and move to a new state. Give up his career, start over.
The way the grandmother was like, it knows your voice, it knows your scent. I was like,
Dog, it's not even that. Just the fucking listen, dude. Oh my god, I'm visible. Y'all can't. Nobody can see, but I'm actively like cringing.
You
This
know what?
fucking imagery of something that's not you, someone that's not you. They open their mouth and it's this horrible version of you, and they're doing that shit to themselves, cutting themselves, self-harm, and to such an extreme, and repeating what you had earlier said.
Yeah.
Hell no. To the no.
You know what? I think I got an idea for this spooky season with these scary stories. I think what we should do is they should be stories of things like skinwalkers, or things that you can hear, like see in the Appalachians, like feral people or witches, shit like that. So next week, Mikey, since you brought up and said that we would make you read all the stories, you get to find the story for next week. So whenever you're looking for a story, you know, whether you do it then or whenever, just try to find something maybe like Appalachian themed, or just something like an oddity, like a skinwalker, like a rake, anything like that, like an urban legend type shit. Try to find like a real story of it, and try to find the scariest real story of it. So, you know, maybe we can get scarier and scarier each week. So,
trust me, I'm already looking at some right now, and man, like there's some good ones on Reddit, man. There's some really fucked up stuff on Reddit.
All right,
that's
guys.
for sure.
All right, does anybody got anything else to say, podcast wise?
Other than like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, grab your, relatives and friends' phones and do the same. Maybe not the notification bell, because that might piss them off, but we don't give a shit.
Yeah. And
we could always use it.
And also, while we're here and while I'm thinking about it, I want to go ahead and say from all of us, including Ridge, well, we've made it to 91 subscribers, which is not much, but to us, that's pretty big.
It's a lot. Huge.
To think that we've only been doing this for just over a year, and to think that we've even got 91 people who even thought about subscribing to us is just the best part about it, in my opinion. Just wanted to send a reminder out there, as well as here in a couple of weeks, me and Caleb will be going to Scarefest in Lexington. So we'll be getting some good content there for you guys, and hopefully get some interviews with some folks. Hopefully maybe get something with that Doug Bradley. That's my goal.
Now the plan is to do this walkthrough as a live, so we're not sure exactly what time we want to start that yet. We haven't got that far. But if you guys just pay attention to our social media accounts, just, look out for messages like that. We may even do a lot of videos, we may post a video of us like when we arrive to the convention center.
We have a couple we have a couple episodes to come out before then, so I'll keep reminding and everything. So but yeah,
we don't want you guys to miss it. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be a lot of cool people there, a lot of celebrities. There's going to be plenty of booths. I'm certain there's probably going to be some tattoo setups. It's always crazy good stuff like that. So this will be my first time going. So
But yeah, just
yay!
keep an eye out for the walkthroughs, the interviews, and hopefully we'll get some good content for you guys. But if nobody's got anything else to say, we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Damn right.
Bye.